Again, Dangote Refinery slashes petrol price to 835 naira per litre, fresh from implementing a 15 naira price reduction in its loading costs for premium motor spirits. The Dangote Refinery and Petrochemicals has again slashed its refined product prices to make them cheaper, cutting its ex-depot rate to 835 naira per litre. The new price is a reduction of 30 naira from 865 naira per litre, implemented 6 days ago, marking a 3.5% decrease, and 45 naira from 880 naira per litre sold by the facility last Wednesday. Now, this price slash also marks Dangote's second downward adjustment in 1 week and third in under 6 weeks. However, as of yesterday, prices are yet to change at most filling stations, including the retail outlets belonging to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL. What is the reason behind the price reductions, and how will it impact on Nigerians and the economy? Well, these and more will be our focus on Nigeria today. I am Minna Daniels. Welcome to the program. And so with me in the studios to discuss reduction in PMS pump price is a National Publicity Secretary, APMAN, Chinedu Okadike. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the program.
Mina, thank you very much. Good evening, Nigerians.
Also joining us via Zoom is Public Affairs Analyst, Jide Ojo. Good to have you join us for this conversation.
It's my pleasure, Mina. Compliments of the Easter.
Same to you. Now tell us your understanding of the PMS market in Nigeria. Not you. I would like to start with Jide Ojo.
Well, it's a welcome development, and Alhaji Aliko Dangote is used to bringing down the cost of his products, whether it's cement, sugar, or now we are talking about oil, and we are talking of refined petroleum products. It's in line with the fact that the price of crude oil has dropped in the international market, as well as the fact that the president has also ordered the extension of Naira for crude, which was stalled until the new administration under Engineer Ojulari took over a couple of, I think last week, because during the tail end of the administration of Engineer, what is his name now? Mele Kyari, the issues around Naira for crude could not be resolved, whether there was going to be an extension or whether Dangote will have to pay dollar for the crude. But soon after Engineer Ojulari took over, we heard that issue has been resolved and that there is now Naira for crude. So the Naira for crude, coupled with the fact that there is also reduction in the price of crude oil in the international market, what we are seeing reflecting in what Dangote is now selling to retail outlets. And it is all for the good of Nigeria. I think it also coincides with the celebration of Easter, which is happening over this weekend. And Nigeria welcomes it. In fact, we are looking forward to a situation that we could even buy at a far cheaper price, maybe like 400 naira per litre or 500 naira per litre maximum. Because as you know, Mena, this impacts on every livelihood. It has a ripple effect. For instance, transportation and even for domestic use. There is no one in this country that will say it does not use petroleum products one way or the other. Even if you don't own a car, you pay for transportation, and transporters will reduce their cost of the cost of transport fare to commuters if the price of PMS also comes down. And that's the kind of ripple effects. Those who are running small businesses, when they buy cheap PMS, they also reduce the cost of their services or goods. So it's going to percolate. But what I think bothers me as a person is whether this is sustainable in the long run. Because we know that almost like every other week, we have price adjustment. Either the price comes down a bit or goes up a bit. And Nigeria is looking forward to that time that we have equilibrium as we used to have, where you know for a certain period, maybe like 6 months, 1 year, this is how much Nigerians will be paying for this product. But since the removal of the regulation on May 29, 2023, we have seen a lot of price fluctuation at irregular intervals. So while this is a heartwarming news, I think Nigerians will want to have a more stable price and a price that is also cheaper than what currently obtains.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me now get to the Publicity Secretary, Ipman. What does this price reduction mean for marketers and distributors of the products across the country?
Well, it means a lot. There's a lot of mixed feelings and reactions from independent marketers of petroleum products across the nation. One is careful. The other side is also we are losing margin. We are losing profits and also capital. For the positive side, independent marketers welcome reduction of price of petroleum product because it enhances our supply. It is a huge chunk of money we use in purchasing these petroleum products, and also it increases sales of petroleum products. Once the price is lower, you will see that your customers will either fill their tank or buy reasonable number of petroleum product from your filling station, and you will also be a return inventory. That will be turnover. And the most important thing, most of these our banks needed from independent marketers is turnover. Independent marketers possess the highest turnover in bank in Nigeria. So that is why when there is a reduction in price, we allowed it, we welcome it, because we can be able to sell off as many trucks as possible. But when there is an increase in petroleum product, you find out that those who normally fill their tanks will take like 5 liter. You see a lazy jeep coming to your filling station to take 3 liter and
I
2
see
liter.
that a lot.
Yes. and running of the filling station becomes so expensive. And at the end of the day, you might be running at a loss. So when people say, independent marketers will always enjoy price increase, it's not true at all. It's not very close to the truth. We wanted this petroleum product to be as cheap as 500 naira per liter, so that every Nigerians can be able to come to the filling station. Those that are using CNG, those that are using LPG will abandon it and take petroleum product. While Nigerians are looking for alternative source of energy, it's because of the high cost of petroleum product. So we want our return investment. You cannot be able to build a filling station you spend over 70 to 100 and something million naira, and at the end of the day you sell only 1,000 liters a day. You are running at a loss. It will also affect your income. It will also affect your standard of operations and even your brand. So we welcome the reduction in price, but with a mixed feeling, because most of us bought this product when Dangote first reduced the first price at 865 naira, and some of our trucks are still on the way. We are moving to our filling stations. It is not easy. This petroleum product, we take it from the coastal areas because Dangote is in Lagos. The pipelines are bad. They can't you can't push this product through the pipelines. So we'll go to Lagos, we'll pass through his gallantry to be able to take some of these products to a very far destination, up to 500 something kilometers. And by the time you look at the timing, within 4 or 5 days, these trucks are still on the road, and you also have another reduction again. That reduction of 30 naira. Definitely you have lost 30 naira.
Yeah.
You're not even now talking about margin. You are talking about losses. Why the commuters and your friends who patronize you are smiling that you quickly go and reduce the price in your filling stations, then you also are looking at what you are passing through to be able to come back again as a businessman and and gain from what you have invested. So it's two sides of the same coin.
It's all right. Let's find out from Jide now if this global reduction in price of crude oil is responsible for Dangote's recent prices. Oh, you have answered that question. But this would be the second price reduction within a week. But filling stations are yet to adjust prices. Why? I would have liked you to answer that, but let's hear from Jide.
It's all right, no problem.
Okay, if that question is for me, that is usually what we experience. Retail outlets are very quick to adjust their meters when the price rises, when there is an increase, but are reluctant to adjust their meters when the price reduces or falls. And that is quite exploitative. Although I must also say that situation where the price reduction does not linger for more than few days may make the retailers not to reflect. Because if you have an old stock, unless you dispense that old stock to customers and you now have been able to profit from the reduced reduced price, then you cannot pass that on to your customers, to vehicle owners who comes to patronize you. So what can help us to have these quick responses if the price will stabilize? Like you rightly mentioned, there have been 2 price adjustments in 1 week. And some who have old stock may not have sold off the one they bought maybe last week. So at the end of the day, you don't expect them to now reduce. I know these people are in business to make money, to make profit. So if the price is stable over a couple of weeks, I believe within a week, we could start seeing some of the retail outlets reflecting that. But situations where you have recurring price adjustment, it will be very difficult to take the lower benchmark. I'm talking now as a businessman. I'm not talking as a consumer, because these people invest their hard-earned money, millions of naira, in this business, and they are in business to make profit. So until when we are able to have a price stability that, come what may, whether there is fall in the price of crude oil in the international market or there is an increase in the international market, this is the price that the product should be sold to consumers. Unless we have that, it will be very difficult to have a static price of these petroleum products. Look at what happens with our budget. Our budget is premised on $75 per barrel. But today, the price of crude oil in the international market has dipped to about $60-something per barrel. So, assuming that our budget is to follow the volatility of crude oil in the international market, how many budgets are we going to have in 1 year? How? So that's why we need to have a buffer. Government needs to find a buffer to say, Dangote, for the next 1 year, we are going to sell our products to you at X amount, even if the price is higher in the international market, we are not going to sell beyond certain threshold for you. Then you too must also not sell beyond certain threshold to your customers, to your clients. That way, we will know that for the next 6 months, for the next 1 year, this is the price we are going to be buying. But situations where there is volatility in the price of crude oil in the international market, then there is also issues around naira for crude, dollar for crude. All of this creates an atmosphere of uncertainty. And that's why, don't forget, Dangote also borrowed money to build that refinery. Billions of dollars were borrowed from Central Bank of Nigeria, from consortium of banks, and he has to pay back. So he is also in business to make money, and he cannot sell at a loss. So I think that is what will make us to experience a kind of price stability. Otherwise, by next week, there could be another price release. Because if the price of crude oil goes up in the international market, Dangote will also adjust his own pricing, and then the retail outlets, having also inputted the cost of transportation from where they buy the products to their fuel stations, they also have to input the cost of running their businesses. They have to pay their fuel attendants and other ancillary costs, and it is what will give them some profit margin that they will use to sell to the consumers, to those who are patronizing them. Because, like I said, you don't expect them to sell at exactly how much Dangote sold to them in Lekki. In Lekki, the fuel stations is in Abuja. They have to transport these products through articulated vehicles to Abuja, to Lokoja, to other parts of the country. And it costs them money. In fact, they are not going to be using PMS. Many of them are going to be either using diesel or CNG to power their trucks. And then they will also have to pay taxes to government. They have to pay salaries of their staff. They have to pay maintenance costs. So at the end of the day, that is why it's very difficult to say, this is how much Dangote sold to us, then we are going to sell to our customers at that same price. They have to input their running cost and margin of profit, and that's what we see at the retail outlets.
All right, thank you so much, Jide, for those submissions. You're here still watching Nigeria Today while we're discussing another reduction in petrol pump price. But at this juncture, we must take a short breather. We'll be right back with more.
The implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow, under digital economy, for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different? We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that are questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thanks for joining us again. And just before we went on that break, Jide was, telling us why, the filling stations are yet to adjust to these new prices. And I would like the IPMAN National Publicity Secretary here to also speak to it, because this one is directly in your domain.
Well, we're independent marketers. We own filling stations. We're not part of government policies, but we give government feedback on what happens in the society, because we are the final people that breaks the bulk of these petroleum products. You see, we are in deregulation. It's the liberalization of the market. And once there is liberalization of this market, there is free flow of pricing. In this period, there is something like regulation of price. This price is being determined by other demand and supply, or factors of production will also determine prices, or even the policies of government will also determine price. So it is no longer in the hands of government to be able to say they are stabilizing price or they are marking price. So this, or there is a template for pricing. These prices are what the government, the market, gives you. It's not what you give to yourself. You understand? And if the Brent crude is 69.987, per barrel, and maybe the next week, the Brent crude, maybe because of Trump policy with the war in China, it becomes around 50. Everybody will be hearing that Dangote should reduce, because Nigerians are going to sell in naira, the rate in which the international market is selling. It's standard. It's an OPEC thing. You understand me? They pick the price. They know how they adjust their prices.
Now, why is it, you guys are not always in a hurry, like Jide said, to reduce the pump price? Because even up to this morning, the price still hadn't shaked.
It is the factors of demand and supply. Any moment from now, some filling stations around you will change their prices. And once they change their prices, people will no longer queue in your filling stations. People will go to other filling stations where the prices are cheaper. And you cannot remain stagnant. When you find out that this person is now selling lower, you will reduce, or you will take the loss by yourself. You will, so that you can be able to go to the market and get a fresh one to see how you can, balance your trades. It's not something that if government starts, implementing price, ceiling price, there's no more regulation. There's no longer the transaction of the market. You understand? So there, now, in MRS filling stations, you will see that long queue. Because MRS has keyed in with Dangote, and they are also selling in line with Dangote. At any particular period of time, Dangote changes the price, they automatically change price. It will even take NNPC like 1 week, 2 weeks, unlike before. It's NNPC that normally determines price for the marketers and retail outlets. But this time around, it's MRS. The things of the game have changed. And even now, more people are patronizing the independent marketers more than the NNPCL, because we're even selling cheaper than the NNPCL. Yeah. So it's competition. You allow the competition to thrive. Everybody must source his petroleum product wherever it's cheaper. Dangote is selling to us, independent marketers. If we also see people that are importing this fuel and they are selling cheaper, we the independent marketers will also buy. So it is the liberalization of the market. Nobody forces prices on you. Wherever you go, take your vehicle to, and you find out, okay, look at the way the prices, when within these few months, from 930 naira to 880 naira, from 800 to 835, to 840, to 850. Some people are selling 850. Some people are still selling 920 because they have not finished their old stock. And if they finish that their old stock or they reduce, they cannot go back to buy again. So those who might be in a hurry, like me and you, who might want to rush to the studio, you can go to where it's more free and you buy for 900. While those who are not in a hurry can go and queue in MRS or go and queue in NIPCO or go and queue in Andover to buy this petroleum product at 850 naira. So the liberation of the market gives you choice on where to buy, how to buy, and how to use.
Okay, because of time, what's your advice? I mean, your final, words on this new price to your people and Nigerians at large.
For the new price, it's just like last week I interfaced with some members of Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, because some people have been inundated me to say, why are we changing price downwards and the transportation fare is still high? What is the problem? You understand? And I also interfaced with them. I said, please, if we are reducing our prices, transportation also energizes people to buy more fuel than than necessary. So why don't you people also reduce your price? They said no, they cannot reduce their price. It is very, 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 very difficult for something that has gone up in Nigeria to go down.
Okay, all right.
But with time, with the pressure, with the market semantics, it will definitely come to where we want it.
I can assure you that Nigerians are waiting.
Thank you very much.
And indeed, that's a wrap on the program Nigeria Today. But first, our appreciation goes to our guest, Chinedu Kadike, National Publicity Secretary, IPMAN, and of course to Public Affairs Analyst, Jide Ojo. Thanks a million for your insights on our outing today. And to our viewer, thank you so much for always being a part of this. Remember, the program Nigeria Today airs weekdays at 7:30 p.m. on NTNS 24. You can also watch a repeat at 10 o'clock in the night, as well as other episodes on www.youtube.com/NTNS24 Hub. I am Mina Daniels. Bye for now.